Previously on Internet's Janitor. We were brothers, separated at birth.
The new Morbius trailer reveals Jared Leto as the Sony Spider-Man anti-hero Morbius, the living vampire.
Morbius movie? Are you kidding me? Oh, man, this suck.
I just realized I forgot to wear a shirt.
The war in Ukraine is sparking fears about nuclear warfare.
Morbius is absolutely miserable. I can completely confirm that everything you've heard about it is absolutely true, and it's even worse than you're probably thinking it is.
At this point, I'm kind of sick of making excuses for Jared Leto.
I think at some point along the way there was an idea for Morbius, and then they overdosed on Xanax. Overdosed on Xanax. Overdosed on Xanax.
Hey, what's up, bro? How you been? It's been a while. Have I missed anything?
Inflation is a serious threat to our economy.
Gas prices currently averaging $4.23 per gallon nationwide.
Oh, so things haven't really gotten any better around here, I see. Looks like I'm returning just in time. I'm sure you could use a friend. So let's take a seat, hang out for a bit, forget about all this stupid shit, and let's talk about everyone's favorite movie star, Jared Leto. So let me start by giving you my initial reaction. This movie was so bad that I tried to get a refund.
Okay, we're not allowed to refund tickets after the show, period.
Even if it was starring Jared Leto.
And
it was that bad.
Yes, unfortunately.
What if it was the worst?
We have a lot of refunds if that was the case.
Really? For that one?
Apparently.
Specifically, have a lot of people who've been coming back and saying, I cannot watch this movie. It's really bad.
I've just seen reviews.
Oh, reviews. Have you seen the movie?
No, I'm not going to.
I think if you saw it, you would be like, actually, we should. We should actually refund it. Alright, so you're saying I can't get a refund, I can't exchange it for another time, I have to go inside and watch Jared Leto. I hope I don't come back. I'm gonna make it. It's bad.
And then unfortunately the audio cut out, but at the end I was like, can you at least just tell me how it ends? The other guy that was working, he was like, it ends with two vampires fighting. You should go watch it. And he was right. The end was two vampires fighting. And unfortunately, that's the most I remember about this movie, and I don't even really remember that part either. So they wouldn't give me my money back, but I guess I wasn't entirely truthful with them. You see, I didn't leave the movie because it was so bad. I left because it was so bad that it gave me a panic attack. That's right. Your old friend Janitor isn't as strong as you thought he was. Even I'm susceptible to completely breaking down in public and making an ass of myself.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
It was just really loud, and everything that was happening on the screen was just really stressing me out. But mostly, I was stressed out because I felt like I couldn't leave. I literally felt stuck there. And not just because they wouldn't refund my money, but because I felt like it was my job to stay. That is, if I didn't watch the whole movie and review it, that I'd be letting you down, letting my other subscribers down, and that I'll never make it to 100,000 subs. And as I was sitting there in the movie watching Jared growl at another man, I thought, how the hell did I get here? I mean, some people have good jobs, some people have shitty jobs, some people have necessary jobs. But now I'm living a life where my job is to follow around a failing movie star and document his every embarrassing, overacted role. If life isn't going good for him, how the hell is it gonna go for me? I mean, if this movie sucks, we're both fucked. Because if his career goes down the toilet and 70% of my views come from reviewing his movies, then how the hell am I supposed to put food on the table or pay rent? Let alone, how the hell do I look people in the eye and tell them my job is to stalk Jared Leto and report about it on the internet and mildly harass him while also simultaneously supporting him? This just makes them ashamed and confused. And then any single time I've ever told anyone this, they just go watch my video. They'll like watch one of these, and within like the first couple minutes, it's really uncomfortable and you can tell they hate it. You know, they're like, why are you so obsessed with Jared Leto? I'm like, you just don't get it. All right, this is something that we get, but do we still get it? Is this still funny? I honestly don't even know anymore. It's gone beyond. Like, the joke went too far like 5 videos ago. And at this point, if the movies are terrible, I can't even tell if that's good or bad for me, because is he gonna be in any more movies? Am I just gonna be talking about somebody that just completely disappears from existence soon? Because like, they're just like, oh, I guess he's not marketable. He's a 50-year-old aging star. And then every once in a while when someone thinks about Jared Leto, that's the only reason they ever come to my channel. Why did I make so many videos about Jared Leto? What was the point? Who was I doing that for? It didn't work. The channel barely gets by because of the Jared Leto videos, because that's the only thing I'm fucking known for. And then now finally a Jared Leto movie is released, finally, and I don't even want to fucking review it because it's so fucking bad. This was a terrible business model.
First time that I've ever starred in a huge film like this. My whole career, I've made mostly independent films and made a career out of playing smaller parts, but this is like the first time I've ever starred in a big Marvel movie like this.
4 times the amount of people came to my channel today, and this happens every single time something happens with Jared Leto. When he was recast as Joker, my channel goes crazy. When he comes out with Morbius, my channel goes crazy. When he has to use a assistant director to wheel him to the bathroom and hold his dick to take a piss, my channel goes crazy. And so while I was watching the movie was so bad that it was making me think things like this. And it gave me a panic attack in the movie theater, and I had to walk out. I was also late. So my review of this movie is actually not going to be complete because I missed about 30 minutes of it, and it's already really fucking short. So right off the bat, I already feel like I'm letting you down, but this is the only way I know how to review this movie. Let me get into this because I don't remember all the first part, but I did see the last half of this movie mostly intact. The one guy was like 2 vampires fighting at the end, and I was like, all right, I guess I kind of want to see 2 vampires fighting. That's cool, right? Top 7 Jared Leto Morbius cringes. Number 1, this movie exists. Number 2, Jared Leto was in it. Number 3, he sent Margot Robbie a bat, even though she wasn't in the movie, with a note that read, "I'm still gonna keep harassing you, bitch. I know you're the reason WB won't let me come back as the Joker." Number 4, in an article that came out today, it was discovered that Jared Leto would not walk around set, and he would only use his crutches to take bathroom breaks, and it was taking so long that they had to start using a wheelchair to move him around. The actual quote from the article is, "I heard a story about filming and I want to see if this is true. Someone told me that Jared Leto was so committed to playing Michael Morbius that even when he had to go to the bathroom, he would use his crutches and slowly limp to get to the bathroom. But it was taking so long between for pee breaks that a deal was made with him to get a wheelchair so someone could wheel him there quicker. And he agreed to that. Is this true?" And the director said yes, and the interviewer's response was all right. But you know what? Jared Leto, that's Jared Leto. This is the Jared Leto that we like. And he needs to conserve his energy because he's out there acting like a bat or like a vampire man. And so if he needs to not use his legs to go to the bathroom so that he can deliver a fantastical performance for us, then that's what he needs to do. I'm glad that they made the guy making $12 an hour wheel him around set and help him go to the bathroom. Number 5, why does everything look like a butthole in this movie? His eyes look like a butthole, his ears look like a butthole, his face looks like an asshole. So I sat back down in the theater, and I started watching the movie again, and it's like I was watching Jared and he was acting just for me. And I mean, he practically was because there was no one else in the movie theater. But I felt such a serious, strong connection to the man. And because the movie was not good, I was still starting to get sick. And at one moment, Jared was gagging because he was like turning into Morbius, and it made me start gagging. All right, I promise you, no one feels more sick about the Rotten Tomatoes scores than me and Jared. But then something amazing happened. And I don't know if you're gonna believe me on this or not, but it's the truth. The movie actually got kind of good. In fact, I actually found myself enjoying it. I wish I could tell you what happened in the movie. I don't know if this is a spoiler review or not because I don't know how to spoil this movie. There's nothing you could say that is a spoiler. You get what I'm saying? I mean, whatever I say about this movie, it'll be a lot less than the director going online and spoiling the entire movie 2 days before it even came out. So here's your spoiler or non-spoiler review. There's 2 fucking vampires fighting, all right? Is that a spoiler? I don't even know. That's what the movie was. Take it at face value. 2 dudes growling, biting each other, and one of them just happened to be Jared Leto. And after a while, I actually stopped seeing Jared Leto and I started seeing Morbius. And that's all you want, right? I mean, that's been my new Jared Leto take. I'm not out here saying give him an Oscar for Morbius. I didn't say that. I'm just out here trying to manage expectations, okay? Everyone's talking about this movie, right? Even if they're all saying they hate it, that's good, isn't it? I mean, everyone that's saying they hate it didn't even fucking see it. It's every single fucking meme page. Shithead Steve and Trash Can Paul and Bro Bible. Everyone's hating on this movie, but no one even fucking saw it, because I can tell you, because I was there myself and you weren't there and no one else was there. There was like 60 seats between me and the next person. But let's quit talking about all that stuff. Let's talk about the fucking movie, or at least what I remember from this movie. There is one scene where Jared slows down time and the other vampire is running at him, like ready to kill him. And then Jared starts like feeling the wind and just like looking around, and out of nowhere, Jared Leto just starts flying. And it was amazing. Literally, my jaw was on the floor when I saw that scene. I'm not even kidding. I was like, whoa, Jared Leto's flying. I felt like I was with him. Cause dude, I felt like that, but until that moment I was sick because the movie was so bad. And then Jared Leto just started flying out of nowhere. And I felt like I was with him. I was like, dude, this is total immersion in the movie. You know how serious Jared takes his roles. And I felt like I was right there with him. So thank you, Jared Leto, for that scene. People are making fun of it. You know what? If this had the Disney logo on it, you people would think that scene was cool. It was cool. The sound design was cool. The CGI was cool in that scene. The tension to the build up to it was like everything slowed down and you're like, what's gonna happen? Like everything just got so slow and so like drawn out. And normally when something like that happens, it's like, oh, just another stupid fucking fight is gonna happen. Like everything's slowing down and then you're like, oh, they're just gonna start killing each other. But everything slowed down and then Jared just jumped in front of a train and started flying like a squirrel. It was awesome. That's my favorite part of the movie. For some reason, everyone gives Venom a pass. They're not giving Jared Leto a pass. I assume it's because people like Venom and Hardy and people are indifferent about Morbius and don't like Jared Leto. And really what it all comes down to, I think I have a theory about why everyone hates this movie, is because people have just been waiting to roast this guy. And my videos have probably not helped. But the internet was a different, more tame place when Suicide Squad came out. So a lot of people have just been holding on to this grudge for Jared, waiting for an opportunity to get it out, and they're taking everything out on this movie. It was way better than something like Wonder Woman 1984. There's actually more boring Marvel movies, in my opinion, made by Disney than this movie. It wasn't great. I don't really remember the plot very much. They were nice enough though to make it short. I didn't have to sit through a 2.5 hour movie. There was some cool jump scares. There was a funny dancing scene. But most importantly, it was Jared Leto in a new comic book movie. 2 years ago, I made the video about the trailer, and it was the defining moment where I switched sides and actually became a Jared Leto supporter. So to finally see the movie 2 years later, I've determined I made the right choice. Because you know what? Jared needs me, and he needs you too, and that's why you're here. Because everything that sucks and is hated eventually comes back around. I call it the Nickelback effect. 10 years ago, the cool thing was to hate Nickelback or hate Nicolas Cage, but over time, the counterculture eventually becomes the accepted norm. And now Nickelback and Nicolas Cage are some of the most important white people to walk the face of the planet. And you know what? I think Jared will be joining that club real soon. So it's very important for people like me and you to continue this movement and campaign for him. Because right now we're pioneers. Or at least we were. Because I actually have some good news, Janitor Squad. I think we did it. As of this morning, I came across several memes about Jared Leto's Morbius, and some of them are actually kind of funny. In fact, they look like memes I would make. Take a look at this one. Morbius fever is sweeping the nation. And they added the Wikipedia article to say Morbius made $352 trillion. They made a meme about how Martin Scorsese said it was the height of cinema, and even he cannot top it, and apologizes to all comic book movies. And then Tyrese saw this, and he didn't know it was a joke, and he reposted it, and he said, wow, wow, wow. I can't believe what just happened. Whoa. Cheers, and hats off to you, Daniel. This is so amazing, King. This is the king of kings of cinema, Martin Scorsese. This is huge. And then unfortunately, all his followers had to let him know that it was all a big joke. And I'm sure he felt pretty stupid after that. Here's another one. Jared Leto returns from 12-day silent retreat to find out Morbius was released. Here's one about Seinfeld going to see Morbius. Here's one about Peter Griffin and Lois talking about Morbius. This is a step in the right direction, people. This is how the cultural shift begins. I'm telling you, in 5 years, people are gonna be begging for Jared Leto Joker to come back, and it's not gonna be ironic. Nicolas Cage is playing Nicolas Cage in a movie this year. Anything is possible. I'm telling you, the League of Extraordinary White People has found its newest member, and his name is Jared Leto. All right, I'm sure I wrote some stuff down about this movie that I could talk about. Let's see what I got here. The ending of this movie was actually really sad. I guess is the spoiler? Okay, this is the first spoiler. 2 vampires fight each other at the end. I also completely forgot that Tyrese was in this movie. Every once in a while, he would show up out of nowhere, and I'd remember he was in it, and then he would disappear for a long time again. What more do you want? Everyone's like, oh, it's 2004 movie. It's 2004 movie. I liked movies in 2004. They weren't so freaking gay.
Watching Morbius, I felt like I time traveled back to 2004 when almost every superhero movie was trash, like Elektra and all that. That's what this movie felt.
I don't know. Everything's all different. I'm getting old and I don't recognize anything anymore. And when I see a movie that makes me feel like 2004, I remember that the world actually didn't suck in 2004. Why is everyone complaining about 2004 movies? Remember when things were good? I mean, maybe you weren't alive. I was. The world was a hell of a lot better than it is now, you know. So let's get in a time capsule, jump in it with Jared Leto, go back to 2004, watch a 2004 comic book movie. Seems like a good idea to me. When Jared kills the other vampire, the guy that's dying, he like lets out a whimper and he's like, "You're gonna kill me," and that was enough for me. That was like, there was no like long drawn out speech. Like he said a little bit something else after that, but like his like reaction, like, "You're gonna kill me," like I legit felt bad because you could see in this guy's eyes that he actually was regretting the choices that he made that led him from crippled to crazy vampire. And I felt bad for my friend Jared that he had to kill his friend. Morbius gets arrested in the movie for being Morbius. I thought that part was hilarious. They arrested him because he was Morbius. I don't know what else to say it. Like, he got arrested. All right? I don't know. When Vulture shows up at the end, the end credit scene, which I didn't stay for, I just saw it online before the movie came out because the director spoiled his own movie. When Vulture shows up at the end and is like, "Let's beat up Spider-Man," and Jared is like, "Okay," it doesn't feel organic. I said in this trailer review that none of this actually really connected and they were just throwing out random shit like Tobey's Spider-Man and Tom Holland's Vulture and seeing what sticks. And people said that I didn't know what I was talking about, but it ended up being true because they actually didn't know what they were doing. They're just like, multiverse, let's throw everything in there. See what New Rockstar says about it. And then we'll just make our movie based off some YouTube comments. So I'm gonna give this film 4 rankings. In terms of a Sony live action Marvel movie, 8 out of 10. A comic book movie, 6 out of 10. Just a regular movie, 4 out of 10. But the most important score, and the reason you're here today, Jared Leto movie, 10 out of 10, baby. See you next time, Janitor Squad.